Hey everyone and welcome. And here is a video of the live ANA that took place today with Mintables and Wasteland Union. There are some very important things that were said, so please do listen up and enjoy.
Sex.
Okay, that's it. Let's wait for him to connect and yeah.
Hello, hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Yep, okay.
Okay, so yep. Hi everyone, welcome to our AMA. And today we are so proud to have Sakil and executive from the Wasteland Union on our show. Hi to both of you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. Thank you for taking your time off your busy schedules to join our show. So, today I'm very excited to have you guys here to talk a bit more about your project. And of course, you guys can showcase your incredibly beautiful and unique art style. That is, typically not very common in the metaverse in this space. So I guess you guys have a lot of things to share, like some interesting utilities and plans for your project as well. So yeah, so we would love to hear. Maybe somebody can start sharing about your project.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. My name is Cirqua. I'm the head of community for the project, basically. Pat over there is one of the founders, PPPITXX. Um, Moving forward, so Wasteland Union is a concept and cyberpunk inspired aesthetic. Oh, sorry, 1 second. My phone is just notifying me. It's a story driven project. So like besides our art and the unique utilities that we'll be offering, we really wanted to drive down having a very interesting universe and lore behind the project. So we wanted to consistently expand out a lot more the lore once we launched with the comic book series that we wanted to put out too. We wanted it so that people would be a lot more invested within our project, just because like what they will own will ultimately shape out the general direction of the story of the project, right? Like it's gonna be we have a pretty unique DAO system with the community that will be going into a lot more in depth
Mm-hmm.
a little bit later down the line.
Yep.
Once we'll pretty much announce that shortly after the launch of the equipment system, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just elaborate a little bit more about the possibilities for our equipment system. It's almost endless because we'll talk about that a little bit more today too. But we're going to be starting to cross over into like other universes from other NFT projects too, and we're really excited to give more detail about that soon.
Yeah. So what do you guys mean by a story-driven NFT project? So maybe you can talk a bit more about your story-driven NFT project. What do you mean by that?
So I think everybody here loves like a really incredible story. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we feel that the NFT space is primarily full of projects that they they just want really good art, but beyond the good art, that there's really not much else behind it. We really wanted to create a story where at least at the very beginning, we want to create this universe, all these incredible characters, like the founders of Eevee, the first city within the wasteland, something that people can start getting attached to, because we
Mm-hmm.
wanted, like I mentioned earlier, with the DAO and with everything else, like all the holders of NT, they're going to start being able to decide the direction of the world, some of the story, the outcomes of certain characters that will be introduced over time.
Yeah.
So the art is going to be paired with a really compelling story, and that we wanted this community, and this is something that we feel that is going to be pretty interesting. I don't know if any other projects have done it yet, but we wanted certain people from the community, people who are interested, obviously, to be able to create or at least brainstorm,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
possibility of writing branching storylines within our universe too. So like maybe something that somebody envisions their community could come to life with the stories that they create, and that'll be
Mm-hmm.
something we could implement into our future pay to
Well,
sorry, no, not pay
yeah.
to
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, a game that we're creating in the future, something that a story that they create that could be incorporated into there, which we're really excited about.
Yeah, it's gonna be like open-ended kind of game in the past where you can choose server options, and the end result is a bit more different. Am I right to say that? So something like you can choose maybe this storyline, and maybe you can vote, and with the DAO system coming in, and you guys can have the voting of what's upcoming in the roadmap, or what sort of designs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's very, very, very cool as well. Because I was looking at your NFT collection, your teaser over Twitter and your Discord space. I just want to ask, did you guys draw inspiration from only one or the sevens for your project?
Uh, so so I actually get that a lot. It's kind of funny. So I think we think at the very least it's an honor to be compared to two
Yeah.
really fantastic projects like Oni Force and Sevens. Um, we didn't draw inspiration from him. At least like YouTube didn't draw inspiration from him. He only started getting to the NFT space more recently. YouTube is our artist, by the way. He's like our lead artist.
Yeah.
We work with two other very talented artists. Like they work alongside him. Um, Personally, I think the main similarity between us and the Sevens and Nutty Force is the fact that we share some sci-fi elements and maybe the angle that our project is in. But we believe that our art style is significantly different just because we have like I think the term they used was in impasto art style, which
Yeah.
which from what they told me, like they try to avoid like bold lines that a lot of people see, right? It's just like the general black outlines like that. Like so we just feel that it's a style that not a lot of projects have on the market because there's a lot of pixel art styles. There's a lot of art styles with, like very strong bold lines. So we really want to try to go for like a little bit of like a, I guess like some realism,
Mm-hmm.
with some really cool sci-fi aesthetics.
Definitely, definitely. The whole market now is flooded with apes. It's flooded with animals, Dodge, Shiba, and of course pixelated art like CryptoPunks and Orbis as well. So it's kind of nice to see something so high quality and so detailed coming in once in a while into the space. I think it's something that is a bit more different. Is you guys tend to stand out with with storyline, the utilities of the your collection, and do you have any plans to get your community involved? Do you have any plans to get do something anything unique to get them involved?
Could you repeat that one more time? Sorry, like I'm lagging a little bit on my end.
Okay, so with a strong NFT design, with a strong design project, with storyline, with utilities, do you guys plan on doing anything unique to involve your community?
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier, um, and please bear in mind, like we're gonna definitely go significantly more in depth with this, but at the very
Mm-hmm.
least, I could talk about a little bit of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So on the launch of our tokens, and basically it's around the time our equipment comes out, we're gonna actually have three types of DAOs being formed
Mm-hmm.
by our holders. Number one, these names are still being decided on, but number one would be like the scripter DAO. So these are the people who are interested in it. These are the kind of people that we really push more to the story side of things. These are the people who are going to be responsible for writing out some of the branching storylines within our universe, right? They're gonna or they just help dictate the general direction of where the story may push. Then we have the Union Artist DAO. Now these people are going to be the people that they have a little bit more of a creative input on some of the designs that we have coming up for, especially with their equipment, and forging equipments over time. And the last one is just going to be the general committee, people that just vote overall on some of the phases, or just the general direction of the project as a whole. So we have a lot of plans just expanding the metaverse, like VX airdrops, metaverses that we want to push into. Um, and there's just a lot that we want the community to have an opinion in. So we just kind of broke it up within like 3 sections for people who are most interested in. They can push into that. They can also be part of all three if they really wanted. But we kind of want to split it just to give the community like more power in what they're most interested in. Basically, like I said, we'll be expanding this a lot more in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to hear more, when you have plans to announce all of this at the same time. I think it's very interesting. Like, of course, the community will decide where this, or whatever happens in the future towards the project. You create that sense of ownership and sense of belonging where, they are given choices or the ability to decide what happens in the future. I think that's a very, very um, key point when I'm getting into an NFT project as well. Even but myself, when I'm looking at NFTs that I want to mint, I go at look at the team, the artwork, and of course the roadmap and the utilities as well, such as deciding a sense of belonging. Like I in several NFT projects that are story based, and I kind of I enjoyed reading the turn of twist of the story, and it's very interesting to see how you guys come up with what's going on next. And definitely, like I was going through your Discord as
Yeah,
well.
like we really want to
Yeah,
just at the very least get as many people as involved, just because like if they're going to invest in their project, we want it to be more than oh, they get a really really nice picture. We wanted them to be you know super invested in what they invest, like in what they got for themselves, right? So
yeah, definitely not just to be there just for the artwork or flipping the NFTs and stuff. I tend to be a bit more engrossed and uh, absorbed into the NFT project, and I'll be like crazy sharing. I'll be like sharing with my friends and telling them about the NFT project that I'm in. If it has some sort of hook, like the storyline, I think it's a very very good hook for a bit reader like me. I love to read so much, and I love to see sci-fi projects that has amazing storylines. Like I'm into Star Trek. I'm into um, lots of sci-fi books as well, novels as well. So I think this is very very interesting. Then I was going through your Discord just now prior to our show, and I realized that you guys announced your Omnimorph partnership. Maybe you can share a bit more about that partnership.
yeah, we're actually really really excited about that one. And this is what I was going back to earlier
Mm-hmm.
when I said that the possibilities for equipment system is it's almost endless. And so, speaking a little bit more in details about the Omnimorph partnership, the really cool thing about them is that uh, the two of us we're both fans of each other's projects. We like the art style, and they have a very unique look to it. And how they're going to end up entering our universe is we wanted to create a certain equipment set for them, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see some what we call omni crates. We haven't finalized the name yet, but our artists will be working very closely with their artists, and they're going to be creating all types of different equipments. That's going to be omnimorph themed or inspired,
Mm-hmm.
however, within the Wasteland art style. So you're going to be able to see if you're like an omnimorph holder, right? You're going to be able to claim these equipment crates, and you're going to be able to open them up and get a randomized omnimorph equipment or weapon or whatever the case is. So you're going to be able to fuse it with your NFT, and you're going to have your Wasteland NFT with a little bit of omnimorphs inspired equipment, which we think is
Mm-hmm.
really really cool because we don't think that there's many projects. We always see a lot of projects that do collabs together, but
Yeah.
as like a independent collection, right?
Yeah.
But for this one, we feel that we're incredibly stand out because we're able to do some collabs with other projects, but make it so it's part of your base NFT too, right? So we think that that's something that we haven't seen anybody else do yet,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I think the possibility of because it wouldn't only stop at Omnivore. If other bigger projects approached us, we would do we would work, try to create some incredible art or
Yeah.
designs that stick within their theme, like cyberkongs, or we could do things with Sneaky Vampire Syndicate.
Yeah.
So the possibilities is like it's there, like it's just whatever other things want to do with us at that point, or whatever other artists want to collaborate with us at that point. And that's why we think it's such a cool aspect for our project.
Yeah, are you guys open to more partnerships? The same way you incorporate Omnimorphs. I think if, is there any way we can contact you or any of the listeners if they are involved in certain projects and they would like to get in touch with you?
Yeah. You just reach out to me. I'm Cirqua on the Wasteland Union Discord. Cirqua, I think my number was like 4949. I don't just I'm sure you'll see me. Just find my name in the announcement somewhere, something like that. You can reach out to me and then I could talk to them and pretty much pitch the idea or the collab to the team. But the
Mm-hmm.
team definitely do want to do more collaborations with other projects. I do know that for a fact. We want to get it. We want to work with as many other projects as we can, just because like it's helpful for both communities. Um, it boosts the excitement for our project, but it also adds a lot more value to the other person's projects. It's like, oh yeah, like if I'm with this, if I'm an Omnimorph holder, I get to be part of the Wasteland universe and get some really really cool equipment too, right? So like it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Because like I a certain trait of a certain NFT, you can get the upgrade in the future, or maybe you can unlock maybe new art style, or maybe you can, like the mutants. I would like to use what it as an example. Like the base ape is very plain, and then they inject with a serum, and then it becomes mutant and stuff. So I'm looking like this sort of concept for your NFT with collaborations as well, like the base could be a wasteland unit, and after that you unlock a maybe a sword, and you can merge it together and unlock a new art style.
Yeah. So basically, that is in a nutshell how the equipment will work. Like
Yeah.
once you get the equipment, you fuse the two together, and it
Yep.
will now show up on your NFT. And there are a lot of benefits to an upgraded NFT, though.
Can you share a bit more about that? Is it a good
Yeah.
question? Yeah. Can you share a bit more? I don't know. Maybe it's under the wraps right now, and you don't want to discuss a bit more about that. If you could share some.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy to share about that. Um, so basically, like I mentioned earlier, like it was just a general. We'll go a lot more in depth about it as
Mm-hmm.
to like the full details and like on how the union tokens and stuff will come into play with that. But basically, long story short,
Mm-hmm.
once you get any equipment, you can pick any equipment you want. So like even if you don't like the one you like, you can always
Mm-hmm.
just sell it on the secondary market and pick up an equipment you do like, whatever the case is, just to customize it to where you get the equipment that you really want for your NFT.
Mm-hmm.
Once you upgrade your NFT, there will be a few bonus. There will be a few benefits to it from it. So like the base unupgraded NFT will get a certain amount of union tokens that it'll generate a day. When you upgrade it, you'll get more. You'll get more tokens a day. But that's
Mm-hmm.
not the only benefit. The other benefits to it is that you will now unlock companion forging. And we really, really didn't want pets or companions
Mm-hmm.
to just be its own standalone thing because we feel that like it's I don't want to sound like rude or anything, but we just kind of feel like it's kind of you know I
Common.
guess a little bit boring. It's
A
just
bit
there, right?
boring,
But
just boring, common,
yeah,
or it's like everybody is doing the same things, same stuff over, and whatever works, and then they just another project copied it, and there is no sense of originality, and it's
yeah,
just a copycat.
exactly,
Yeah, I get
exactly.
it.
So for with our companion, we wanted people like just like the breeding stuff. Like it'll take time to forge your companion. Like you'll forge it with two upgraded NFTs, and basically, if you get a companion you like, is going to be just like your equipment system. You'll be able to take your companion. You can keep it by itself, which it'll look nice if you want to keep it by itself. But you can also fuse that into your NFT, so it'll now be within your NFT somewhere. Basically, and our companion, we're still working on like a lot of drafts and designs, so that if it does feature an NFT, it'll look good. It'll still look a little bit seamless into how the equipment system works, and that'll be like another level of like upgrading NFT, right? And that'll provide your NFTs with additional utilities that will lead into our game in the future later on, basically, right? But that's how we wanted to take the companion. We at least wanted them to have like something to do with your base NFT, so this way you really get to customize your NFT a lot more. Like, you get to give them the equipment that you want. Maybe I'm sure you've seen some of the sneak peeks. Like, some people are saying like, "Oh yeah, like I love the Plague Doctor look." So maybe some people wanted like have that Plague Doctor. If they got the Plague Doctor NFT, then they wanted like a backpack that really matches well with it, like a rucksack or something for their equipment. And then we had like some Raven designs and stuff like that. So that's the companion they really wanted. So they get to customize and like mix and match the things that they want to do, right?
Yeah. So that would be very cool because I get to decide the outlook and my companion, and also the final design of the NFT that I can customize it. And you mentioned about your game where you can play it as a playable character. Am I correct? And I think
Yeah. So like the game, I can't talk too much about that one yet, just
okay.
because like the team didn't want me to talk very much about that one yet.
Yeah.
It's just because like they're focused on giving the entire community like strong utilities
Mm-hmm.
and strong profile picture, like like strong project, great art, and everything first. So just because like it's hard for us to talk about a game because
Mm-hmm.
like everything in the NFT space, you know, 3 weeks is like 3 months to some people. So like three
Yep.
months becomes like in the NFT world like 3 years. And some people can't wait 3 years or 3 months or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like. So we want to like, at least provide value and utilities upfront, like immediately. So this way, like holders get a lot of value out
Yep.
of
Yep.
what they invested in immediately, basically, and then everything else would be like a lot of extra bonus. And speaking of that, there is like one upgrade I did forget to mention. Like, as the community dictates the general direction of our project later down the line and everything, we also wanted to like have the upgraded people be the upgraded entities be the ones that do qualify for the free VX airdrops in a sense, right? So like if they upgraded it, they get incentivized with like a free VX airdrop that they can bring into a metaverse once the community decides which metaverse they want to settle in on, basically.
Wow, that's very cool. I'll be looking forward to all your announcements, and I will stay tuned on your Discord as well. Yeah, also just some questions on your Discord. We can discuss it. I'm looking at like your comments and stuff. Like there is some chat about lowering the mint price before pre-sale. Do you guys have or minting? And yeah, I haven't heard anything about your minting price and when it's gonna drop.
Yeah, so actually that's been something that's been a big discussion point for me
Mm-hmm.
and Pat, PPP over there,
Okay.
and the rest of the team, just because we really because Ethereum is like going up and down so much. However, we wanted the entry pool for like our project to be very accessible for everybody. And as the price keeps going up, we're most definitely going to change the price if Ethereum just decides to like keep staying, keep going up, keep pumping the way it is. Because like when we announced a project, Ethereum was only like $3,200 or whatever the case is at the time. So like it wasn't much. 0.08 wasn't much at the time, but now it's like what is it like 4.3k,
Yep.
4.4k, something like that.
Yep. Yep.
So we're definitely going to try to adjust the price just to accommodate the mass at that point. We haven't announced yet because we want to see where Ethereum falls
Yep.
before we launch, basically.
I see. I think that's a very good point. Very consideration. A great consideration. Taking into consideration about the gas prices and of course the to accessible to make it as you know much more accessible to the mass audience. I think a lot of them haven't get their first NFTs. This could be their first NFT. And I do think like
Right.
you want to have a very competitive price as compared to most people will usually compare with ETH and then take into calculation their gas prices and they decide, oh, this is something that I'm comfortable with. I'm okay to get into. I think that's a very good consideration point.
Yeah, gas has been super crazy. That's something that we're monitoring heavily too. That's why that's one of the big things why we also are considering lowering the price too.
Yeah, I have to agree hands down. Like most of the projects that launched, I think this 2 weeks hasn't have a lot of key projects that's been launching. I think everybody is looking at ETH prices and waiting for gas prices to go down. And for the past few days, it has been kind of below the 100 gas fee. I think it's kind of interesting to see how projects leverage and when they're gonna launch. Like I'm in several projects that launch additional means. So if you own a certain number of their NFTs, and now you can mint their Series 2 of their NFTs for free just by paying gas. So I think that's one thing that you guys can consider as well.
Yeah, actually, that is. Pat brought that up with me the other day. He was like,
Yep.
"Could we reward some people like that mint multiple amounts, like at least reimburse gas and stuff?" And that is something that we are considering very, very heavily. On top of that, with like just general mint bonuses that we're offering to the community overall, just because we wanted to reward people that the early investors and everything a lot. So we have a ton of mint bonuses in general that just benefits people who are trying to invest into our project.
Yeah, definitely. I think you guys put in a lot of consideration. I'm sure you guys have a very long discussions with the committee and of course your team to discuss whether if is this viable, is this accessible, and the price point, is it kind of like acceptable for most people. And I think you guys seriously have put in a lot of thoughts into this as well. Like, yeah, before I have one thing that I want to share with everybody here in the room is that later we'll be having a giveaway announcement on Mintable's Twitter as well. So we are giving away, there will be a giveaway going on from after we end the show till 26th November. So yeah, do feel free to check out and take part in the contest as well. So we are giving away 10 Wasteland Union Whitelist spots plus one free airdrop to anyone who take part in the contest. So all you need to do is to follow both of our Twitter account, like, retweet, and tag 3 friends, and stand a chance to win. I think that's a good opportunity to get opportunity to get whitelist as well. Right now I'm looking at the whitelist is out of 600, 518 is already claimed. I think yeah. So if you can't be so active on their Discord, or you are not very active, or if you're not that lucky to win whitelist spots, be in their Discord, stay as active as possible, ask questions about the projects. They are very active on their Discord with AMAs. They have so many people asking about what's going on with the roadmap. I see that the community over there is very conducive. Yeah, I think you guys should hang out more on their Discord as well. And
Yeah, we have plenty of ways for people to get
yeah,
Whitelist currently.
yeah, please share some some ways the listeners can get into the whitelist on your Discord.
Yeah, so the main way right now is it's more the classic way. Is the biggest way currently. So number one would be being active in Discord, leveling up to a certain level, and then having some invites. Or we understand some people just can't have invites. So we also wanted the alternative options is like get to a high level. Once you're at a certain level, we'll just whitelist you just because of your activity in there. Number two would be if you're super helpful in the community and stuff. We're always looking for like super helpful people. Just are just always active, helping the community, contributing something overall. We end up giving them something what we call a Wasteland aid role, and that's basically just like you've been super helpful to us. Thank you. And that's more of like a whitelist OG role, so they can mint more if they really wanted. Um, Another way would basically be just through some of the art stuff. People who do some art designs or derivatives for our project, we like to give away roles for that too.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking around, and I'm looking in the background, looking for questions from listeners as well. So before we open up the floor to audiences, do you have any questions for um potential minters who will be minting your projects? Do you have like anything you want to say to them, or anything else you want to share before we open up the floor to accept questions from the floor?
Not that I can think of currently. No.
Gotcha. So, and to all our listeners today with us in the room, in the space here, if you have any questions, just feel free to raise your hand and request to speak, and I will grant you the floor. And feel free to chat with Circuit. I don't see any hands. I don't think we have any questions. Let me take a look at the Discord. So yeah, I have a random question from your Discord as well. They are asking like, what you guys are doing to ensure a smooth launch, uh, without contract issues.
Without kind so I think
What
Pat
was
would be more qualified to answer this.
Yeah.
I know that he's talking to engineers about them looking at some layer two solutions and stuff like that. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
super tech savvy about that. Pat, are you here?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
like what is the answer to that?
Yeah. What's the answer to what you guys are doing as a dev team, the engineering team, how what you guys are doing to ensure a smooth launch, without contract issues or hacking.
I mean, our contract devs are super like they involved in the space for a long time, like for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they are. Though I don't think this is a concern because they're trying their best to make sure everything going through. Because um to keep a smooth launch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So my concern will be the smooth launch will be gas war. If let's say
Oh,
everybody's
gas
fighting,
war.
yeah. Oh, I'm thinking like, oh, could it be you clash with another project that is launching at the same time or around the same time? Then there will be gas war, fighting around. Yep, I have somebody who is requesting to speak. Let me allow him to ask the question. Hi, Ronin. 47, you have the stage. Do you have any questions for us?
It looks like he's connecting.
Yep.
Alrighty, Roo. Hello, guys.
Hi.
I know I've been in the community for quite some time and everything like that. I just have one question, and also fantastic AMA that's gone on so far. It's been fantastic to listen to and everything, and honestly, just an overall joy. I wanted to ask in regards to the whole staking method and so on that's going to come with the NFT itself and everything like that. What does the timeline look like for that to basically happen? When would that happen? When would we be able to basically be stake our NFT or have the availability to upgrade it?
That's a really, really good question. And the thing about that, and this is why we're super excited about it, is because we've been working on the staking system for quite some time. We will actually be able to launch it really, really shortly after launch. As far as I'm aware of, last I spoke to some people from the engineering team, they said they wanted it out shortly within 2 weeks of launch. So basically, just because it'll provide the most value for the holders at the time, instead of people just holding a nice profile picture and then having nothing to do. It just does nothing for the next 2 months basically. So the equipment and everything will be launched within 2 weeks. They launch the same exact time as our token system, and the nice thing is that we will end up, just to accelerate some of the NFTs and stuff like that in early investors. If I remember correctly, it was the first 4,000 minters. Like if you're within the first 4,000, we will airdrop you your first free equipment case, so people can get their upgrades a little bit sooner instead of staking, waiting quite a certain amount of time, and then being able to purchase some union equipment through the store.
All right, awesome. And then in regards, I also saw that there is going to be a union shop and everything like that. Obviously, now there's three different tiers of equipment. You have tier one, tier two, tier three. With the different tiers and so on, what is the benefit of having a higher tier? Is it having would it basically invoke an opportunity to get a higher tier companion, or exactly what would the benefit be?
So the three different tiers. The primary one would just be aesthetics, just because we know that some people, they're all going to be priced differently. Some people really don't care as much about the how their equipment looks. They just want to get the they just want to get straight to the benefits, right, of having an upgraded NFT. I also know that the team wanted. So this is going to be something that's going to be a little bit not harder to balance, but it's something that the team is discussing a lot more, just because they wanted the equipment to have its own set of stats and everything in the future for the game, right? So like, obviously, higher tier equipment would give more benefits in our upcoming game in the future, and the more common stuff just maybe they won't be as strong, but this will be very very viable as your NFT gets upgraded to have all the other benefits too and everything, and still be usable within the game because only upgraded NFTs can access the game in the future, basically.
All right, okay, that answers quite a bit over there. Then as well is if we are part of the first 4,000 to get our minting, which I'm going to absolutely strive to do, and get the equipment obviously, and it initially helps obviously with the NFT staking and the amount of union that you get and so on. If we want to, at a later stage with that NFT, swap it out from the maybe say whatever tier equipment we got at that time for a higher tier equipment, is that also possible for the future?
Yeah, I actually asked an engineering team this one too. They would said what would happen is if you did that, is that the old equipment would just get burned on your NFT, which just disappear, and the new one would take its place.
All right, awesome. Well, then I think that answers quite a few questions out there, and looking forward to the minting date. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome talking to you.
Thank you for your questions. We have Jason as well. Hi, Jason.
Hello, how's everyone?
Hey,
Great.
Jason.
Hey, so I just recently found out about you guys, and I just wanted to ask, are you guys fully doxed yet, or because I can't quite find
So
that information?
yeah, so as far as the team goes, we're not fully doxed. I know some of the developers were hesitant just because they, from what I'm aware of, they worked with other projects, with not other projects, but they worked with what was it, cryptocurrency contracts and stuff like that, and they didn't want to be fully doxed for that. I think the only person that would be mostly doxed is just me, being circled as the head of community, just because I really don't have much to hide, honestly. But you can find out like a lot more about the experiences of the team, like some of the things they might have worked on, um, within the Discord, because we have a section for that called Meet the Team, basically, and this is where we just put out like a lot more information about ourselves, some things that we've been involved in beforehand, and just more information about everybody as a whole. And our artist, he hasn't worked in any other NFT project before, like you two, but he did do a lot of derivatives for, Board Ape Yacht Club because he was an owner of it. So he started the Twitter like It's Tau Club, and that's where you can find like a lot of his and like the other artists like NNL and like Alex and stuff like that, because they're all three friends and they've been doing art together for a while. So that's where you'll find like derivatives of his work from other NFTs he's really liked, is on that page too.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. Hi, thank you, Jason and Ronin47. Yep. Anyone else have any more questions? Yep. Yeah. If maybe we can let me check. Yep. There isn't any more questions from your Discord as well. I think we would like to wrap this up soon. So yeah, thank you guys for joining our short little AMA session with Wasteland Union as well. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for taking your time off. If you have any questions, just feel free to drop by, their Discord or Mintable Discord. I will make sure I will pass along the questions over to them as well, so we can get an answer. So thank you guys for joining us tonight and today, this morning. Good morning. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see each other soon for our next AMA session with another project coming soon to you.
Yeah, awesome. It's a pleasure talking to you. It's a pleasure talking to everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great morning, great day wherever you are then. Goodbye, guys.
Have a good day, guys.
You do. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
So we saw a lot of interesting things said in the A&A, and we were told a lot of interesting things to come for this amazing project. So be ready to see amazing things happen for the future of this project, as well as go check out their website and then go and look through their art, as well as go look at the story and the roadmap itself, understanding what is to come for this project forward and what is entailed for yourself. But otherwise, thank you for watching this A&A, and hope to see you next time.